Hello and welcome to Lute's Guide to Bandits, Thieves and Vagabonds Part 2. If you haven't seen the previous episode, I recommend you do so now. I'll just take a short rest here. We all good to go? Right, so it seems you survived session 1 and need something a little different to fight. Let's delve deeper into the woods and see what comes out swinging. Is it some mould? Is it a stain? No, it's a goblin. Ew. These runty stinky little gits infest the forest of the world like drunk green toddlers. They use hit and run tactics to try and cause confusion in the party, though with courage equalled only by brave Sir Robin, usually you'll hit one and the others will run away. A proper sneaky git is the Goblin Boss. These diminutive warlords are the screeching tyrants that lead a horde of snotballs in a tidal wave of scimitars and foul language. Try your best to take them out before it's too late, but beware, they are masters of 3 Goblin Monty. Keep your eyes on the real one and give them a damn good hiding. Bigger, uglier and smellier are the Hobgoblins. Imagine if you inflated a goblin to the size of a man and gave him an ego to match. Oh, and orange skin. Hobgoblins are regimented and efficient. In other words, boring beatsticks who can put out a frightening amount of damage for their level, as long as they have a friend nearby. Seriously, keep your casters away, if you don't want someone storming away from the table as their precious rip-off Gandalf dies in a single hit. Barking orders at them are their captains, armoured walls of muscle and discipline, equally capable of smashing in heads and directing his forces. With a well-placed word he can turn a miss into a hit and then cut you in half with enough d6s to make a rogue blush. Try and sneak up and take his head off before he starts shouting. Right, now to counterbalance the last one with the opposite, orcs. They traded higher brain functions for a really big axe and an even bigger temper. They make up for being thicker than a bowl of oatmeal by charging headlong at the enemy at horrific speeds before bringing their great axe down on anyone foolish enough to play chicken with them. But luckily, since they're a few bricks short of a castle, it's easy to outmaneuver them. Invariably leading them from the front comes the war chief, the most brutal and cunning of his tribe. With the fear of Grumsh at their back, these towers of violence march fearlessly towards the foe. Their savage battle cry inspires other orcs to fight even harder since they know the boss is watching them. Up next are the knights, or as fighters call them, plate armor on legs. Though usually knights are bastions of honour and chivalry, the lure of easy coin is a hard one to resist. They are the be-all and end-all of defensive fighters, but that does not mean their swords are just for show. Regardless of why they fight, they're still as brave as a man who's just told his wife that her dress does in fact make her look fat. Try not to end up like the Black Knight from Monty Python's Holy Grail if you challenge one to a duel. Gladiator? Well, probably he was hungry. Somewhere between an entertainer and a monster of death, the Gladiator is a swift and deadly opponent. Their brutal fighting style of smashing foes to the ground with their shields and then just playing pokey the nearest blokey can quickly leave your barbarian with more holes in them than a block of Swiss cheese. As brave as a knight and equally as capable of deflecting enemies' blows, they're not to be messed with. Well, unless you lock them in his place with a spell or two, then it's easy as taking candy from a well-armed baby. With no creed but a significant amount of greed is the assassin. If you don't see them coming, they're more than capable of turning a fighter into an unconscious weight, or a wizard into a small pile of giblets and complaints about the game being unfair. Though they may only carry a sword and a crossbow, the sheer amount of poison really makes up for it. Try to corner them quickly and under no circumstances let them escape, unless you want to be able to see directly through your healer's head. So, a little more tricky, but nothing you can't handle, eh? Come now adventurers, there's much more of this world to explore. Let's head out for pastures new and see what we find along the way. Good luck, have fun, and try to keep the infighting to a minimum, because that's just mean.